Yay Networks.
You're listening to the Chatty Daddies podcast.
Welcome to the Chatty Daddies,
a podcast from three dads who think they are parenting experts.
And guys, it's been an entire year since we started quarantine. I know
right.
it was a full year because my kids went to off on spring break, and then they just never went back to school. Mm-hmm. and it looks like history is repeating itself because my kids are back at home.
Oh,
Dun, dun.
Yep. There was a close encounter with a positive COVID test.
Yeah.
With my daughter.
That's someone in her class.
Yeah. So when that happens, the parent, apparently what happens is, the kid has to come forward and they have to go tell the school. And then that parent has to tell who her kid has been in contact with. And my daughter's name was brought up. Mm-hmm. So then they hit you up as a parent. And basically your life is just completely just smashed to a halt.
Yep. So you found that out at what time?
So we were supposed to go to dinner on Friday. We had a nice little dinner set up with one of our coworkers, Kelly Raspberry and her husband, and then another. It was for a charity thing because somebody had won or bid on a dinner with us, and so we were finally gonna make that right. And it has been over a year since that person has been trying to get the dinner, but my wife set it up. We were all set to go. The babysitter was minutes from arriving when the call came in. I mean, I was ready. My hair was on point. I mean, that was the best my hair's looked all year.
Broke out the curling iron.
Yeah, I did everything. I mean, I had the outfit on. Kinsey her makeup was all, I mean, we were set to go. And the call came in. And it was one of those moments where you have the conversation of like, wait, what if they would have called us tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Like you have that, you get a little selfish because we were looking forward to going out and we had not gone out in a long time. We haven't had a date night and this was going to finally be it. And, you got to do the adult thing. And we decided to call the babysitter and let her know what had happened. We put Chloe on right away into quarantine. So she's only allowed to be in her room and in one little spot to the side when she wants to go get food to keep her away from my son, Kason, who doesn't really go close to her anyways because he's a boy and he's, he doesn't want anything to do with his sister lately. So that's good. But yeah, man, it was just one of those where the babysitter said, no, thank you for telling me. I definitely don't want to get my parents sick. I got a trip coming up, and that was it, man. Plans canceled. That was gone.
Boy,
that was it.
Did you think for half a second about going, Chloe who? No, I don't know what Chloe Chavez.
You didn't hang out with that girl. No,
yeah, right.
Different Chloe. No.
Well, the good news is I got antibodies. So does my wife, right? So we're fine. And it was just we didn't have anybody to watch the kids.
Sure. Yeah.
It just wrecked it. And then you forget that your kids are going to have to basically learn from home for an entire 10 days. And so that's where we're at.
How's she handling it so far?
She cried. Mm-hmm. She cried because she had her first soccer match was supposed to take place this weekend, and she missed it, and she was really excited about that. She's sad she's going to miss her cheerleading practice. She really looks forward to that, and she's really sad she's going to miss her Girl Scouts meeting. So she cried a little bit, but she's actually taken it very well, and my kids are doing extremely well with the staying away from each other with quarantine.
Yeah.
And so that was good, but yeah, we went and got her tested. She's negative so far, but
that's good.
You still have to wait the allotted time, and so now it's like we're reliving last year all over again.
Gosh,
it's like
man,
Groundhog Day.
That just like that March was kind of crazy, but just for me, like April and May were just brutal.
Right?
Kids, kids were out of school, and my wife and I aren't used to being work from home and keeping the kids all day. We're not used to that. And I know we can do it. It's not the worst thing ever, but it's just a completely different change of pace. But now, like we've had things where maybe we were going to do something and plans have just canceled. So now at least it's like, well, we're kind of used to changing plans quickly and we're used to just sitting and staying at home. So,
I know.
But man, it's just the worst.
I've realized in the last year or so that what school, yes, I get it. School's there to teach our kids and get them to learn all these things that we need to learn. But also, it's there for us parents to have a break. And it's a very beneficial break because it's so nice when your kids come home and they're excited to see you, right? Mm-hmm. And you're excited to see them. But when they're here at home all day long, you just want to tell them to leave. Yeah. But they can't because they're little,
So when they're doing homeschooling, Do they end up having homework as well? So you have to do like whatever, the 6 hours of online schooling that you got to help them with. And then they're like, all right, now I got to go do my homework.
It depends on the teacher. A lot of what I've noticed now, because I remember when I was younger, I'd have at least like an hour of homework a day,
Sure.
maybe 2 hours. And then in high school, it was even worse because of AP classes. But now I feel like, man, I was like AP Spanish. It's basically cheating. and an AP math class. And
you were trying to brag by throwing AP in there, though.
But no, it was nothing to brag about. But now I notice that I think the right thing to do, because when we go to work, sometimes we do bring a little bit of work home, but usually it's supposed to be you get off work. Us, we're different because we're in radio. We keep working all day long. But most people, when they get off work, they're done, and they don't bring that home, right?
Sounds so nice.
It does sound nice. And hearing my friends talk about that is cool, but I think they're implementing that with kids. So no, after school, they usually will have like study your Spanish words or study your spelling test words and do a little math, but it's not a crazy amount of homework, which is good.
I'm going to be interested to see how this past year, what might be a year and a half or two, how that's going to affect just the learning curve that kids are going to be on for the next few years. What are the ramifications of everything? Kids are definitely going to be behind to no point of theirs. They're just going to be behind. Are we still going to keep passing them just so they keep bumping up like the athletes who didn't really pass the test, but they've been allowed to skate through school? But what is that going to happen with the kids who don't play sports?
We got a backlog of kids. Just push them through. There's more kids coming. So we don't have enough fourth grade classrooms. You just got to push them to fifth grade.
Yeah, right. Are we just going to like every other year we're going to pause? So it's like fifth and seventh grade. There's no classes that year. We're just going to hold everyone still for an extra year. I don't know how it's going to do, and how it's just going to affect kids and how they learn.
So this story is not 100% fact. This is what I'm going off my head, based off of something in my head. There was an outbreak of ringworm in like the early 1900s in the South, and so they had to like cancel school, and people weren't going to school, and that's where the whole term of like slack-jawed, dumb South people came about, because they just stopped going to school for a whole year because they had this big outbreak of ringworm, and so they were just behind the whole time, and that's how like the whole making fun of the South for being dumb got started.
Trey, if you heard that from the Stuff You Should Know podcast, that's where I heard a similar story, and I'll
fix it.
I'll just try to repeat what I think I remember from 3 years ago when I heard it.
Okay, so that was Trey's version. Let's get Nick's version of the story.
So he's right in the way that this is how people started calling the South dumb, because, and it comes down to indoor plumbing. So the South had outhouses, right? Mm-hmm. And so you would go out there. The city, if you're living in New York, there was some sort of plumbing at your house and stuff, but the South couldn't afford that. So you have the outhouse. A lot of people in the South also did not either have shoes or wear shoes. Like a lot of people were working in the field at that time with no shoes on.
Yeah.
Oh. And so you go to the outhouse and you're stepping on people's waste. In that waste are parasites and stuff. And so people were getting worms and ringworms, so it was knocking them out. They couldn't go to school. And so that prevented people from learning, and it just all stacks on top of each other. So it's like plumbing is kind of why people started getting stupid in the South.
Wow. Interesting. See, I knew there was something going on.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that was all correct. But I'm pretty sure it had to do with like outhouses and stuff, because stuff would just soak up in people's feet or the cuts on their feet, and they'd get some sort of parasite in them, and that'd be it.
I also saw that and again, this is like Trey, I think I heard this somewhere, but a lot of the high school students that were seniors missed out on their senior year of eligibility playing high school sports. And if you're not good enough, or you're not to the talent level to go play in college, I mean, your career was basically done. Mm-hmm. Those memories were taken from you. So I think they're allowing some kids that graduated to come back and play one last year of sports.
Interesting.
Boy, that's a lot. Because what if you're like old for your age and you're a senior?
Right.
And then you're coming in a whole year later. So now you're like 3 years older than some of the people you're playing on varsity.
So you're 19.
Fine.
Yeah, you're 19 playing 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
16-year-olds.
The 16-year-old varsity running back, and you're the 19-year-old linebacker.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think that should be the case for people that are, obvious talent to play in college, because at that point it's unfair. They should definitely just go play in college and not play in high school. But for us average individuals, that's a nice little gesture if that is what is actually happening.
What a crazy year. I didn't even have a kid at this point last year.
And now look at you.
And now
he's doing all sorts of things.
I'm a champion, and he is just doing milestone after milestone, just something new every single week. And this week, we got a tooth.
Whoa.
Oh, the first one. So
How
he's
old
crazy.
is he?
He is 5.5 months.
Is that normal?
And it's a little bit early.
Okay.
But it just broke through the skin today. I got a text message from my wife saying, "Ooh, it's a little sharp."
Yeah. So you've got a tooth. He started eating regular foods recently.
Yeah.
Right?
And so, before we move on to solid food talk, what happened with teething with you guys? Was it a nightmare? Is teething always a nightmare for kids?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was.
But to be honest, I'm not traumatized by anything. I don't remember a whole lot. I mean, yeah, you get some fussiness.
And
I
the
think.
fever. Sometimes there's a fever that pops up, so you don't know if are they sick or is it the tooth coming in? Because I thought my kid was, every time a fever happened, I was like, they're dying.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Where they are.
little sleep regression.
Sleep regression
Yes.
has been our fun times over the past couple of days, because he will wake up about 35 minutes after we put him down, almost like it's just his normal nap, his nap sleep cycle, and he wakes up freaking out. And of course, it's a little early for him to start teething, so we didn't have the proper gear. We didn't have any of these fancy little soothing toys that we can stick in the freezer. So we're trying to improvise a little bit, and we're just like, "What do you want? Play with me." So I was up with him for 4 or 5 hours because he did not want to go back to sleep.
And the drool too. They look like
so
they have
much
rabies too.
So
just drooling
much
all over the
drool.
place.
But yeah, we have gotten into the food stuff, and I am proud to say that my son seems to be allergy free of both peanut butter and eggs.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Oh, lucky.
So what's the next thing you have to test?
The only thing left that I know of that is an allergy risk for Quade would be strawberries, because old Papa Peart was allergic to strawberries at his age. So
That's
we'll
you?
find out. Yeah.
Okay.
And I had a little bit of a rash, a little bit of a reaction to strawberries, but I grew out of it. So hopefully he'll be just fine. Now, what kind of allergies does Kaysen have? Because I heard you talking the other day about Kaysen's allergies, and I didn't know that he had a ton.
Everything. He is allergic to eggs, which we found out by feeding him eggs. And we're like, why does his mouth keep getting red? Like, he looks like a clown every time we eat. And then
Kind of breathing slow, Kinsey.
What age was
Yeah.
that at? What age?
he was really
Early,
little. So, yeah. So when he started eating solids, basically, we started introducing eggs, and that's when we realized. And he loved them, by the way. He was a big fan of eggs.
And you know what eggs are in?
What?
Absolutely everything.
Yep.
Everything.
They're-
Dude,
like, he can get a flu shot, right?
he's so good now to where if he goes to a friend's house, he can't get a flu shot. If he goes to a friend's house, he knows to tell the moms. Hey,
that's
I just wanna
good.
he knows his allergens. He's also allergic to a lot of fruits, like strawberries is one of them. I think he's allergic to bananas, grapes.
Oh.
What else is he allergic to? He's allergic to.
Is he allergic to it, or is he just trying to get chicken nuggets out of
No,
you?
we got right exactly. We got him tested. Like we had to go get him.
Oh, boy.
Basically stabbed in the back, and his entire back was
Right.
full of allergies.
Yeah, they prick him everywhere.
everywhere. The one he's really allergic to, like really bad, is peas. Peas he's really allergic to, which is wild because I'm like, my parents spent their whole time trying to get me to eat peas, and this guy gets off scot free. You know?
Do you have an EpiPen?
Yeah, we have EpiPens in the house.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we got
and
two of them.
you never had to use them, have you? I figure I would have heard that story.
Not on Kaysen, no. I almost used it on myself when I got stung by a bee because I'm allergic to bees. And so I was sitting there waiting for it to work.
What does almost mean? You have it just like in hand, ready to go with a bare thigh?
So basically, I got stung in college. This is where I found out that I'm allergic to bees because my throat started closing, and my buddies were on the call with the 911 operator, and she was basically telling them, "Hey, do you guys have a pen nearby? Because you might have to, go in
Open 'em up.
and open them up." And one of my buddies was taking nursing school, so he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this." He's got a. Luckily, one of my boys had to run to his room, come back with an EpiPen, and stabbed me. Oof. And the ambulance showed up. Everything was good, but I felt like utter crap for the next day. EpiPens make you feel like just complete garbage afterwards. You get an adrenaline rush, and then your body's just like, it's just bleh.
On TikTok the other day, I saw someone using an EpiPen, and they stabbed it through something clear so you could see like how fast it all shoots out. That thing sprays out so fast.
It was wild, and it honestly, like you feel it go through your body right away. It was weird, but also it felt awful. I didn't like it at all. So I remembered that feeling. And so when the bee stung me, it was probably last year sometime. I went and grabbed the EpiPen and I sat next to the bed and I told Kinsey, I'm like, I'm not going to stab myself until I feel my throat closing up like I did in college. Now the one in college was on my, it was on my right hand, so it was pretty close to my, I guess, to my heart and stuff. This one was more on my leg, so it was further away. Yeah, and it didn't close up, so that's why it was almost another step. The allergies weren't as bad to where my throat closed up this time, so I didn't do it.
All right, JC, for our stereo this week, what if I come to your place and you stab me with the EpiPen? Let's just see what happens.
I mean, I'm down to do it, but I've heard that that's not something you want to do.
Oh.
It probably puts stuff in your body that good. It's good if you need it, but if you're healthy and fine, you probably shouldn't have all that racing through your veins.
It doesn't give you a good workout. Like I can't go get a good
no, dude.
Oh, so instead of drinking the pre-workout, I was taking EpiPen, bro.
It honestly, and I needed it when I took it that one time when the ambulance showed up, and I still felt like garbage for like 24 hours. It was not. I did not feel right after that. It was not something I would do.
Yikes!
But if you really want to, I'm not going to tell you no.
Well, I'm sure in just the few minutes we've been on, we've said something dumb, we've said something incorrect, and I'm sure you would like to correct us. Well, you can. Like Trey said, we're going to be going on Stereo this week. We do it every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Time, and Stereo is an app where you can join us. We're going to have an after party each week, and two of us are going to be on, so you can hang out with us, you can ask us questions, we can respond right away, and you can kind of become like the fourth chatty daddy, or like chatty mommy.
Yeah, in fact, last week, I felt like our stereo went by too fast because we had so many great questions and so many great comments coming in that it just flew by. I felt like Trey and I didn't get a chance to talk very much because we're not just kidding. No, but it was honestly awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool to get to hear. It's really cool to get to hear from our listeners, and because we do this, we're like just looking at each other on a virtual call right now. But it's just cool to hear that, like, wow, other people listen to this thing,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a live social conversation app, so download Stereo in whatever app store you're using, and then at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, we will jump on there live, and you can join in, ask us anything you want, and we will be open and honest with you.
And we don't say no to any questions. We'll answer them. We'll be extremely honest. And follow along. What's your tag, Nick?
At Nick Adams.
Trey?
I'm at On The Tradio.
And I'm at JSI5.
And can somebody please critique us a little bit? Everybody's being too nice.
No.
People that are listening are nice. Just give us some crap.
Hey, you're a terrible father. Let's hear
you.
that on Stereo.
I don't want to hear that. I want positivity lately. Everything's negative.
You can write the show. We got a little fan mail that we can blow through real fast.
Okay, go ahead.
So Danny wrote us and said, hey guys, day one listener here. I have 3 kids, ages 1 to 9. My wife and I cannot agree on discipline for our kids. We're always on separate pages. Sometimes I'm the mean one and sometimes she is. We have always struggled with this, and I can see things are headed down a bad path with our oldest daughter getting into her preteens. Help.
Man.
Yeah, that is tough. My wife and I, we did a little like pre-marriage counseling with the church that we were getting married in. And so we met a few times, and really what this helped with, it wasn't so much religious things. The preacher would send us home with things like, okay, this week I want you guys to talk about these few topics, and it would be like finances, discipline, things like that. So then we were sort of on the same page once we had kids, because we'd already talked about it. There weren't huge surprises.
Yeah.
As time goes on, you talk about it before even having kids, and then once you see that little kid right there, and his big eyes are welling up with tears, are you still able to spank him? Are you still able to get onto him? Are you still able to punish him?
The cuteness wears off, Trey. You are in cuteness world right now, where Quaid isn't really thinking for himself right now.
And he never does anything wrong.
Yeah, once he can run around the room, once he can grab things off the counter, once he has a sibling, things aren't as cute as they are on TV. You know,
you might get the like, I want to fight him feeling. Obviously, you will never fight him, but you get that like, what? Why do you do these things?
Yes.
And Danny, to get your back here, buddy, you are not alone in this. My wife and I struggle with this a lot. And it has to do with what mood you're in a lot of the times. Because sometimes I'll be more, passive when it comes to it because I had a good day and nothing's really hitting me wrong. But then there could be a day where I had a bad day at work or I had a wrong message sent to me and I'm just ready to punish the kids and send them to the room and take away something. And my wife will step in. The one thing you can't do, and this goes for all us parents, is we got to let if mom is doing her thing, you just got to let it happen, right?
Yeah, support whoever's doing the punishment.
You got to support, and you can't jump on them in front of the kids and say you're doing it wrong. You can't undermine what they're doing and then go in and go, you know what? If she's taking something away from my son Kason and saying you can't play Fortnite for a week, I can't hop in and go, no, you can't play for 2 days. I got to let her go with it and let him go to his room, and then when he leaves, what you're supposed to do is you got to have that conversation and go, hey, and she's done that with me, and I've done that with her, where you go, that was a little too much. Or maybe yelling right away wasn't the proper thing to do because he was handling it okay or she was handling it okay. So that's the only thing you have to watch. Those disagreements and doing it different every time, that's going to keep happening, dude, because we can't help it. We're human. Nobody's perfect. And you just got to have that little skeleton like Nick has with his wife where you guys have some sort of, way you're going to go about things. But when that goes off course sometimes, let it happen and then just go back to talking about it. And then next time you'll get it right.
And I would say, again, I don't have a kid that's getting close to being a preteen, but I'm betting that when you say, I'm worried she's going down a bad path, it's probably not as bad as you think it's going. You're probably going, oh my gosh, this is just the worst. I'm a terrible parent. It's probably just, trying to get some independence, trying to figure out their own way in life, and they're trying to break away from their parents a little bit. You're probably not doing as bad as you think you are.
Yeah. And do you guys do this? Nick, do you do this? And Trey, I don't know if you'll do this, but you might. I try to think back to that age a lot of the times when my kids mess up. Trey goes back to 5 months old. But I really do. I try to go back. Right now it's really easy for me because my kids are 9 and 7 and I have memories. That is when I lost a lot. I lost some respect for my mom when I was 9 years old, and I carry it to this day.
Ooh, what happened?
So I don't know if I've told this story before, but so my mom had a younger brother. He was my uncle. He was like my dad, my best friend, like my brother. So big older brother. So I took a lot of advice from him, and he basically gave me the whole nobody disrespects your mother talk, right? And there was a kid in my apartment complex that was, I don't know if he was bullying me, but he was picking on me a lot, and he'd make fun of my clothes because I didn't have the Adidas that everybody had. I had the Eastsides that had the 4 stripes instead. So he was making fun of my clothes a lot. He was making fun of my hair. He was making fun of my shirts. He was that kid, and I took it because my uncle said, hey, if anybody makes fun of you, don't do anything about it. Unless you're being physically harmed, you cannot do anything about it. But if somebody disrespects your mother, you better let them know. And one day that kid, his name was John Solomon. He finally crossed the line and he called my mom fat. And I punched him. And it was the first time I had punched a kid that was not my cousin, because you get in a fight with him. Sure. So this is the first kid I punched that wasn't my cousin or family member. And I remember just feeling so mad that he was talking about my mom. I even gave him a chance. I said, what'd you say about my mom? Your mom's fat. I've seen her. So he kept going and I lost it and I popped him one in the mouth. And now it wasn't even a fight. He took it and ran off crying.
Did he bleed?
Yeah, he did.
Nice.
He had a little bloody lip, but that was it. I thought it was over, and I wanted to go home and tell my uncle. I wanted to call him and let him know that I stood up for my mom, and I was proud. So I went home, and I'm in the process of trying to get my dad to dial him up in Mexico, and I hear the door knock, and I hear my mom walk to the front door, and I'm like, surely John didn't go tell on me, right? He was the one that started it. He called my mom fat. Opened the door, I can hear me, your kid, me, hey, me, John, me. And I'm like, oh, I heard John. I peeked my head out my room, and John and his mom are out there. He's sitting there with a little ice pack on his lip, and she's yelling at my mom for punching John. And so my mom walks me out there, and she goes, you need to apologize to him. And I was like, I'm sorry, I punched John, but he was making fun of my mom. He called her fat. And my mom goes, okay, I'm going to take care of this. And she goes, thank you. Lady leaves with John, and my mom grounded me for 30 days, guys.
Oh.
no
I was
TV.
defending you, Mom.
I told her that. I was like, Mom, he was calling you fat. He's been doing, I just finally lost it. I've let him go with all the other stuff. He called you. I was trying to get your back. She goes, nope, you're grounded for 30 days, month. No going outside, no TV, no playing Mario, nothing. All I was allowed to do was read and do homework. Go to school, come home, go straight to my room for 30 days.
Boy, that's a long time.
That is a long time.
That is a very long time.
And you know, when you're dealing out punishments, Trey, you'll find this out. If you say, hey, no TV for a month, that means you got to entertain this kid for a month.
Yeah.
That means that's a punishment for you.
Right.
And not for the kid.
And the thing is, my parents were working a lot, so I was stuck at home by myself most of the time. My dad was a maintenance worker at the apartment complex. He actually gave me a little head nod like, yeah, I got you. Good job. But like we said earlier, he couldn't go against my mom. Mm-hmm. But to this day, I carry that where I'm like, man, I'm still sourpuss about that.
Yeah.
Getting grounded for a month.
What's the longest you've grounded your kids, or the longest you were grounded for, Nick, since we know JC's was 30 days?
You know, I know, I'm pretty sure I was grounded for like a month or two. We had a party when my parents were out of town once.
Yeah.
And then...
Worth it?
It was a fun party. Here's what I don't understand. So we have this party. Well, we had a party both nights they were out of town, which that was maybe mistake number one. But then we clean the house up and we get all the trash bags. And so we couldn't put the trash bags like in the trash can in the garage to take to the curb. So we just like put them behind the house real fast. And then like as soon as my parents get home, my dad has not walked to the backside of our house in 2 years. And he immediately walks back there.
Right.
They immediately found the trash. Like they weren't home for 4 minutes and they found all of our trash.
Well, he knew that he'd been gone for 2 days and had a 16-year-old, 17-year-old
He
kid.
had to take a lap around the house real fast. And
Hold on,
he
you know
did.
what that means, Nick? That means your dad threw a damn party when his parents were out of town back in the day.
Sure
he was just doing what he did.
Or you got some snitches as neighbors.
Nah. You know, that could have happened. Because, I mean, there was 100 cars in our street for 2 nights in a row.
For sure you got snitched on.
Two
What are you
nights in a
talking
row?
about?
Yeah, maybe that's what happened.
That's absolutely what happened. What's the longest you've grounded Davis?
I mean, you know, when they're so little, they don't really understand. So if I say like in the morning, hey, if you're not nice for your mom before you go to school, you can't watch TV in the afternoon. He may not remember that he got in trouble before he went to school. So, I mean, you try and keep like timeouts and stuff. I've heard people say like a minute for how old they are. So not too incredibly long. Maybe a day, I'll say.
I do. The longest I've grounded Kaysen was for 2 weeks. I took away Fortnite, but I still tell him he has to go outside and play with his friends. I don't take his friends away because I don't think that's right for kids. I think they need that interaction. So I grounded him for 2 weeks, but I do good behavior and good grades. Mm-hmm. So I give you a little leniency with that. He took a test that week and he has straight A's. He does great in school. So he ended up coming home with 100% on his test. And he had good behavior. So I shortened that to a week. So I always tell him it's 2 weeks, but you behave right, you act right, you do your chores, and you get good grades this week on your test, and that could be cut in half. And I do that every time. So if it's a week, I can cut it down to like 3 days, you know?
Just like if he goes to prison, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, aren't we just, as parents, teaching the kids what life is going to be like if they screw up? And that's technically it, right?
And what 30 to life is going to be like, yep.
Trey, how long were you grounded for?
I feel like it was no longer than a week, but I do remember I would go to my dad's every other weekend. And so if I got grounded by my mother, I would just not tell my dad. My dad and mom didn't really communicate very well. So I'd just be like, hey, yeah, Dad, like, whatever. Like, you mind if Josh comes with me for the weekend? And then Josh would come with and hang out.
Okay, so JC, you were just talking about your kid and good grades. Did y'all ever get paid for good grades? Or do you give your kids? I used to get, I think it was like $10 for an A on a report card or something like that. But, well, they didn't have to pay me that very often.
Right.
And it'd be like $5 for a B or something.
I was just expected to get A's and B's. Just if you get a C, all right, we're gonna have to have a sit-down conversation. You're flirting with disaster here. But A's and B's expected. And then I never really got an allowance. It was kind of like, hey, you've been good. And you're asking for a video game. It's been 6 months since you got one. Here you go.
Yeah. I didn't get paid for grades. My parents, I think they would have if they had the money, but they didn't. I was expected, like Trey, to get A's and B's. If I got a C, I would get grounded. Which I never got to see until college. My first C was in college, which is pretty good. Yeah, no, because I was that scared of my mom, dude. My mom scared me. I was just too scared, and so I used that. And honestly, if you just try a little bit in school, you're gonna get a B. You know, you just gotta if you just put a little bit of effort, it's gonna be a B. You put in all effort, you're gonna get that A.
But what about the classes that suck?
Like physics and stuff?
Chemistry.
I loved physics. It was like English that I hated.
Okay, so there's subject. So mine, I hated physics. And there was I think I had like a 78, and I got so scared. I was, I think, a sophomore in high school. And if I got grounded, that meant I couldn't go to the parties on the weekend. And that's not going to happen. I went and talked to my teacher, and he gave me a little pop quiz. He gave me 2 days to study for a test, and he gave me a pop quiz and gave me 3% extra credit so that I could get the B-.
Okay, listen to this. Listen to how unworried my parents were about paying me a lot of money for my report card. It was around the time I was getting my driver's license, and we had this deal, you get paid for your grades and stuff. And I said, hey, if I make straight A's for like the first semester of high school or something, I want my first car. I want you to buy me a semi-truck. And my parents agreed.
That's how little they believed in you?
Because they made a great wager because I did not get straight A's. I don't even think I came close. I don't think I even made straight A's the first report card time. They're like, yeah, we'll take you up on that. Sure.
Mine was, you asked for a semi.
I asked for a semi-truck.
I asked for it to get my ears pierced if I got straight A's. And I got it, and my mom didn't let me. She took it back, and my grandma snuck off and got it for me.
Oh, that's nice.
And then we came home, and then my mom made me take them off.
What was everyone's first car?
Mine was a 1984 Honda Accord.
Nice.
With power windows that didn't work.
There you go.
And a second gear that didn't work. So I had to jump from first gear to third gear. So you had to get enough of a speed to, so that it wouldn't stall out on you.
Trey?
I had a 1996 Ford Explorer.
Okay, what color?
It was blue. It was like a nice dark blue, and turns out it had been totaled, but never reported that it had been totaled on the Carfax. Nice. And so then whenever it would rain, the roof would completely get soaked and just start raining inside of my car. And so then when my dad went and got it fixed, they were like, yeah, there's a big crack in the frame of this thing. Like it shouldn't have been put back on the road.
Oh, you want to know the color of my car, Nick?
Sure. I'm going to guess gold.
Yeah, brown.
No, I think it was gold. Sounds
like an 84 Honda.
When you strip the paint off and it's like that weird gray.
That's it.
The primer
spray
gray.
painted.
It was like a weird gray. What was yours, Nick?
I had a red 97 F-150. It was a good truck.
That's great.
It was like my brother's, and then he went off to college, and so they gave it to me.
Yeah.
It had like 200,000 miles on it. It was great.
Wait, what year was it?
97?
97. I think that's the great year.
97 F-150. It was kind of the classic that I remember a classic. 97. It was just an extended cab tray. Trey's looking up the picture. Extended cab. It was not a 4-door, just extended cab.
Bedliner on it?
No, it did have a bed liner, but listen, so my brother...
Fancy.
When my brother was driving the truck, he had a friend who got his hand on some speakers.
Yeah.
We didn't ask how he got his hand on these speakers, and they installed them in my brother's truck. And so for a truck, this is going to be just for the guys. So for the guys listening, for a truck, if you're going to put like subwoofers in your truck, they'll usually go like under your seats, like under the bench in the back seat. So there's like a special box you put them in. If they're in the trunk of a car, they're just in like a box.
Right.
You like bolt them down. So these were like car trunk speakers. So my subwoofers sat on the back seat of my truck, and they were loose. They weren't tied down to anything. So like the back seat could seat 3 people. But really, 2 of those seats were taken up by a subwoofer that moved. So whenever I would take a corner, I would have to turn with one hand, hold the wheel, and then with the other hand, hold the box of subwoofers in the back seat while I was turning.
And Nick, what were you bumping on these speakers?
Usually it's something like Maroon 5, Gavin DeGraw, something pretty crazy.
You didn't strike me as the whole
rap guy.
I wasn't listening to Nelly or Lil Wayne too much in 2005. But we all definitely remember, so you're like a block away from school and you're thinking, what am I going to be listening to when I roll up in the parking lot at school?
For sure.
Yeah.
Got to roll the window down. What am I going to, got to put that mix CD on, get to something. And it was usually something like that Trey or Regulators or maybe some Lil Wayne or some Nelly was big when I was in high school. So This would
Limp
be
Bizkit, yes,
yeah,
bro.
this is definitely Trey.
Just one of them days.
Wait, you don't want to wake up.
Dude, this was what I used to listen to going to the beach, and then we'd see hot girls and we'd roll the window down. We did not know that listening to Limp Bizkit was super douchey back then.
Here's the thing, though. That song was like 10 years old whenever I was rolling up to
Trey's
school.
rolling up in his Hurley t-shirt. Listen to Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit was lit, man. I used to rock that.
I'll still listen to it to work out.
You know, it's not that bad. But Oscar wrote us, last thing for fan mail. Oscar wrote us on Instagram, sent us a DM, said, "Hey, Chatty Daddies, I'm a father of a 17-year-old son and a 20-year-old daughter and look forward to your podcast every Saturday, or Dadder-Day, as we call it. I enjoy listening to your experiences because it brings back good memories of when our kids were little. Always remember there is no parent handbook and you do the best that you can, using your own experiences to guide you. In the end, you hope you can raise your kids the best way that you can so that when you're not around, your kids will hear your voice when making their own decisions. Keep up the good work and keep doing what you're doing. Oscar."
Oh, Oscar, we might need him to come on a couple times and give us some advice as a, because he's got the teenage son.
Yeah.
I like it.
He's seen some stuff. He's
We don't
seen
have
some
that
action.
Bro, I had a proud dad moment. So Kaysen started his flag football, and for the first time ever, my dude was the dude on the team.
Yeah, he was like handling it on the field.
He scored 2 touchdowns for the first time ever. Like, he's had it before where he scored 1 maybe, and when he was really little, he did better. But now as like a kid where they're throwing the ball a lot and it's like really competitive, he scored 2 touchdowns, and I found myself trying to act cool and composed on the outside.
Yeah,
but on the inside, I was so happy and wanted to scream so loud, but I was like, all the parents would look at you when your son scores, and you're like, "Oh man, your son!" I was like, "Thanks, man."
Right.
So what was your reason for holding it in?
I don't know, Trey. It just like it was in the moment.
You don't want to brag.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I
no.
honestly don't know why. I don't know. I think that's just what my brain did.
I feel like I would run out there and spike the football for him.
For real, dude. That's literally what I wanted to run on the field and pick him up and like hug him and stuff. But I'm like, I can't, because on this particular team, I don't coach him. I put him on a different team so he could get some experience. And so I'm not even a coach on this team. And so I just stood back and I was like, oh man, I just want to run out there and hug him so bad, but I can't.
I got to guess one of the best parts was after the game and you're just walking to the parking lot and you get to walk next to the kid who was the star on the field.
Yeah.
You're just walking with the hero right now.
One of the other dads goes, "Hey, that was a really good 45-yard run." Like, the guy had I was like, "Yeah, you damn right it was," in my head. But I was like, "Oh, thanks, brother. I appreciate you, man. Like, we've been there every day."
Yeah, take the Emmitt Smith route.
Yeah. Play it cool. Oh, man, I was so pumped.
Well, boys, I think that does it for this episode of the Chatty Daddies.
Make sure you hit us up anytime on social media. Follow along at Chatty Daddies, or you can go to chattydaddies.com.
And make sure to hit subscribe on whatever app you're listening to us right now.
You're listening to the Chatty Daddies podcast.
Well, this episode of the Chatty Daddies is over, but you can always join us at our Chatty Daddies after party on the Stereo app.
It's
Yeah, you
sweeping
can.
the nation, this Stereo app. I mean, it's so much fun. You get to sit down, you get to have a conversation with people. Anybody that listens to the Chatty Daddies wants to ask a question to us, they just hit a little button right there in the middle and go, "Hey, what do you guys think about spanking?" And it gets sent directly to us, and we can answer in real time.
Yeah, I mean, we got some great questions last time we had our after party. And here's the thing. A lot of the times you might be listening to the podcast and you have some great advice for us, or you have a great input, but you're screaming at your radio or your phone or whatever you're listening on. And this time you can actually hit a button and let us know what you're feeling, which is awesome.
Just so you know what you can expect, here's what happened on our last Stereo conversation.
Hey y'all, longtime listener. Just wondering what a single mom could do to kind of fulfill the absent dad role. Love you guys.
Excellent question, Liz. First, my bio dad walked out, so he's not in my life. My dad that my mom married, it's not that he wanted to be absent from my life, it's that he just had to work to put food on the table. So he was not very active. But what I suggest is put your kids in sports.
Yeah, absolutely. And if sometimes sports can get expensive, or if your time schedule doesn't work for that. I don't know if you're a religious person, but getting involved in your church could be a good option.
Yes.
I was very involved in church growing up. So some of the men that I always looked up to were like the youth ministers and the people that would lead Sunday school and stuff like that. So that's a good option.
So make sure to follow us on the Stereo app, at On the Tradio,
At Nick Adams.
At JSI5.
and we will see you on Stereo on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central.
Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast! An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.